As I look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then storming weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
Oh boy. May's Paymetons. Choices are up for grabs, and they are limited, like a lot of things would, Phil. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Snort, Burnell, DSP Gaming. New goals for May's Patreon Choice Limited. Now, here's the thing. Patron's Choice is something that we haven't really heard a lot about in a while. And it's understandable why, because, you know, the streams were the gravy train there for a little while. He thought he would be able to kind of distance himself from that, and whatever little money he gets off Patreon is fine, but he was going to run the fundraiser scheme. The fundraiser, you know, was going to be the brand new lick. You know what I'm saying? That was what he was going to pull. You know what I'm saying? Phil was treating this shit like this was Goodfellas, and Patreon and Twitch was, what was that? Kennedy Airport? He thought this was going to be the Lufthansa heist all over again. Just month after month after month until he got too greedy. I told you about that, Phil. I know you're listening. I told you about that. Well, now, apparently, Phil has implemented Patron's Choice, but there's going to be some restrictions. Now, Phil has done this before when he gutted those a lot of those Japanese eccentric games. You know, those long narrative ones. He ended up cutting that out. In doing so, he cut out the core fan base who was making sure he was hitting the Patreon goal every month. Phil he still really hasn't, you know, that hasn't reconciled with him yet. He still hasn't, you know, figured that out. But for everybody else, that's what the case was. Shouts out to Bart S. He's actually one of the people who pointed that out to me months ago. And so with that being said, Phil's implementing it because he really needs that money right now. And now there's going to be some terms in it. There's going to be some conditions. And if you don't like it, get on. But we'll see what comes out of that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work.
What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Today is the day of the most epic rematch in game streaming history. That's right.
Cockroach versus Ludwig.
I want to do two goals this month. One goal is I want to do a silly DSP Tries It video for like an As Seen on TV product or something very ridiculous like I did back in January. And also I want to do a marathon. And the marathon I want to do is completely different from what you would expect. The marathon I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, all right, I'm going to do, in honor of the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, the Street Fighter Master Run Challenge.
Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, this is currently being recorded on May 4th. This video, though, was published by the great Snort Burnell on May 2nd. DSP Gaming, new goals for May's Patreon's Choice. Limited. And I don't care if you like it. You know what Phil is. Phil doesn't care about anything. So, there you go. It's amazing how someone who completely, well, almost completely, I should say, at least a large chunk of his income comes from the generosity of other people. People believing that he's a victim. People wanting to see him succeed at all costs. And yet he'll still treat them like utter garbage. It's absolutely amazing. But the question is it amazing that the very people who hold his livelihood in their hands? Or is it amazing that those people keep coming back to him despite how they've been treated. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I treat you people like shit, but I need you guys. Or you treat us like shit, Phil, but continue to take our money. Absolutely amazing.
Sure.
Alright. So what is this? Okay? If you guys aren't aware, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection releases on the 29th of May. And it features a ridiculous amount of games. Are you ready? Street Fighter the Original, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Hyper Fighting, which is Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 1, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3 New Generation, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It has all of those fucking games in it. Alright?
And I think they'll give you, I think you're getting Ultra Super Street Fighter 4 as a pre-order bonus. Or is it just Ultra? Actually, I have it right here for the PS4. It's Ultra Street Fighter 4. Sorry. And I think they give that to you also for free as a pre-order bonus. So that's cool. So that's 5 games to try to get at Phil at. And we'll see if he'll go back to the Street Fighter 4 series. We all remember the epic fails that came out of that.
You might say, holy shit. Yeah, I know. That's what, 612 games in one collection. Now, the bad news is, only 4 of those games have online conventionality. Alright? Or conventionality. Online capability. That was completely the wrong word. And so that means only 4 games. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Third Strike are the only 4 games in the collection that you can play online.
That does actually kind of suck, that only 4 games, but to be honest, if I had to ask, I would have wanted just all of the alphas. Well, I don't think we even got those, but I would have wanted all of the Third Strikes to be online capable. I mean, don't be wrong, I still want the other 3 too, but I definitely wanted Street Fighter 3 as well as Second Impact to have online capability. That'd have been dope. Because you guys, for some of you guys who didn't get a chance to play that in arcades, or you can play the ROM. You can probably play the ROM on GGPO. I don't know. I guess it depends and whatnot. Because where I live is one of the few places that still has like an arcade that has all those things. But there is a spot up in Chicago that actually is like they kind of specialize in like really, really old games, and they have like a whole section devoted to just fighting games. It's like half the building, and you can find all of them there, almost all of them in working order. It's really crazy. It's really dope. So, but yeah, getting to play the Street Fighter Third Strike and Second Impact on a cabinet's great. It's absolutely great. But it is what it is.
The rest are offline, but you still can play them, alright? So here's what I want to do. I want to do a Master Challenge run. What that means is that if we hit the subscriber goal for the month of May, I am going to be doing a marathon event, probably roughly 8 hours of gameplay, if not more, we'll see, where I'm going to attempt to play and defeat every game in the Street Fighter collection at the hardest difficulty.
Any moment, I can pick up a controller, and I can play any game at professional level. I am a former professional fighting game player in the capacity, not that I did it for a living. I was a high-level tournament player, 4th place at EVO, top player of Street Fighter 2 that year overall in the country. And then after that, years I had won, various qualifiers for EVO, and, done pretty good in tournaments overall in Street Fighter 2 over the years. I myself am a former pro fighting game player.
Fuck. Just so you guys know, you have no idea how hard that's going to be. I used to play these games on the hardest difficulty
Uh-oh, here comes the excuses.
back in the day, and the AI in these games cheats like fucking crazy. Okay?
No, Phil, it just forces you to think. It doesn't allow you to do repetitive shit over and over and over again. It forces you to adapt. That's what it does. Phil doesn't know what that means.
Like crazy. What they'll purposely do, alright, they'll wait for you to do an attack and immediately read what you're doing and do the move that'll beat it.
Wow! I'm going to try to beat every one of the games in the collection Sans Street Fighter 1, which really isn't part of the Street Fighter competitive, community, at the hardest difficulty against the AI. That's pretty nuts. It's going to be very challenging.
That may, if it is successful, may spur me to do other challenge runs and other styles of games as well as events. All right. Now, so you might,
As long as people pay you for it.
say, all right, well, what's it going to be then? Well, what I'm going to do in honor of this already, being kind of a big thing, I am going to leave the subscriber goal for this month at 475 subs. I'm not going to change it. So it's going to stay from what it was, for April. And we're going to try to push towards 475 subs by the end of the month.
Shout outs!
All right, shout out to Ludwig the Detractor, who did a 500-bit cheer.
Share with a bigger amount and make them bigger so that way they're more significant,
And
He's such a greedy bastard. He really is. He really is. Now, keep in mind, I had said, and I still firmly hold to this, but Phil won't do it because he doesn't have any balls, is that put the chat in sub-only mode. And if you're really trying to get these kids for the gusto, make them pay to play, get them paid to talk to you. And then once he puts it in subscriber-only mode, he can still just ignore the chat, right? Still just ignore the chat, and then still force them to give him bits and cheers. Just saying. I know it might sound like a dick move me saying that, but let's be honest. It's no better than what he's doing now, to be honest. And if he has a dead chat, then maybe he won't look at the damn thing so often. Just saying. Just saying. On the stream that, on Tevin's stream the other yesterday, or last night I should say, there was somebody, because we were watching Phil's stream, there was someone who was throwing, I can't remember how much Tevin said he threw at him. Maybe it was $100, maybe, or maybe it was somewhere between like $50 and $100, and the guy was throwing it out in like $5, increments, and Phil couldn't keep up with it after a while, like his questions, so eventually he just ignored them altogether, and the guy just kept spamming the $5 because he really wanted to get Phil's attention. Senpai noticed me, and it just didn't happen. So Phil walked away with like $50 or $100 and only had to answer like 3 questions. There you go.
by the way, that is the top cheer for today. So Ludwig the Detractor, of all people, of all names, is the top cheerer on our leaderboard today. Let's get him up there first of all. So what does Ludwig say? Ludwig says, hold on, that guy's all screwed up. He says, "What's up, Philly B? Ready to get your ass beat over and over until you cry and run home to mommy." Well, my mommy doesn't live at my home, but I'm looking to exact an...
She might one day. If he doesn't decide to pay the cost to like put her in a home, she might one day.
some kind of revenge from Ludwig. Hopefully I can beat him today because I would like to see the rest of the DLC. People have told me it's really amazing, like it's a really good DLC. So I would definitely like to see the rest of it. Hopefully I can conquer Ludwig.
Genetic Gamer cheered, reach here, and said, "Look here, look, listen. A meme that has nothing to do with me. Congratulations."
And the fool asks the following. He said, "Phil, can XCOM 2 win the patron's choice?"
No. Okay, well, like, no. And... no.
Here's the thing. The
Scratch that. I just like the fact that people recommend him games that they know he'll never finish. Phil doesn't finish the games that he likes, that he wanted to play, like really, really wanted to play. He barely finishes those games off. What makes you think he's going to finish a game that you guys recommend? Especially a game like XCOM. Just saying. If this was Spoony 1 would definitely play it and finish it. No problem. Phil's not like that.
XCOM games are ridiculously long, and sadly the XCOM games require tons of grinding. Like, you can't just play through it and beat it. You have to repetitively play certain missions to get resources to upgrade your troops and the like. I know this because I played XCOM 1, and I really enjoyed it until I basically hit the wall, which was a point in the game that everyone agreed the game got incredibly difficult. You had to go back and repetitively do stages over and over to grind, and it didn't become fun anymore.
So I quit the game.
And Snort Burnell's right. Like, this is supposed to be Patron's choice. It's actually Pig Roach's choice, which it is. Yet again, you guys are the ones who are putting the money in this man's bank account. You guys should choose the 5 or 10 games or whatever it is and whatnot. You guys should choose that game and whatnot because you're the one that's putting up the $1,250 for it. You guys set the date to when he starts starts playing it, and then there you guys go. The more control you give him, this is the reason why he doesn't finish games. This is the reason why he leaves you guys holding the bag. And to be honest with you, why not? None of you guys are going to do nothing to fight back. You know what I mean? Not collectively, anyway. It is what it is. That's why he's been doing it for so many years. But like I said, it's up to y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the argument right now as it pertains to game developers and shit. Like, if you don't want... If a game that you have that's coming out that you really want to play is not coming out the way you want it to, if you really feel that strongly, then don't buy the game. Don't pre-order. You know what I mean? Just don't buy the game. And wait until the game comes out and it's actually fixed and it's working properly. If people had done that with, for example, Call of Duty World at War, or World at War 2, whatever. If they had done that, you know, maybe the game that we have right now would have been this good at launch. Yeah, Activision is, you know, fixing the problem. Yeah, they're getting stuff done, but they already got our money. I know people who have given up the game and they got the season's pass. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you threw $60 down on the game and then you threw like another $50 at a season's pass. And they don't even care about playing it anymore. They're like, man, screw it. It's whatever. I'll take the L. You know? I'm telling you, I mark my words, if Black Ops 4 isn't amazing, and if it's not amazing, Call of Duty could be screwed. And I know people have been saying that for years, but you can only be abused, or you can only feel like you've been taken advantage for so long and not do something about it. And you see, and the reason why I bring all that up is because of Phil's fan base. There are people who drop out of it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Are they doing it in droves? No. Which is what Phil probably thinks his lucky stars, God, the gout, the doubt, the snout, whatever the case may be. He thanks his lucky stars for it because if a large influx of people left at the same time, Phil would be scared. He'd be scared to death. And luckily he hasn't had that. It's not yet.
I'm afraid if people were to say, nominate and vote in a game like XCOM 2, that's exactly what would happen. I'd start playing the game, people would be excited until I hit a point in the game where, oh god, now they can't even advance unless you sit there and grind on stages. To, you know, no one wants to see that shit. And that's what I'm a little worried about, okay? In addition, a game like Danganronpa V3, which a lot of people have said they wanted to see for a while, I'm worried that my voice won't hold up.
Motherfucker! Let's hear it. I can't do it anymore.
God damn, that's pathetic. That really is. And it's ironic in a lot of ways that this man here, who won't take care of himself, won't do well by himself, won't do anything to further his longevity from a lifespan standpoint, let alone from his air quotes career. He won't do anything to try to help himself out. And now the very thing that he values the most, because believe me when I say this is the truth. The very thing that he values the most, which is his voice, he's losing it. What happens on the day that Phil wakes up and he can barely say anything legible? What happens to the day where Phil wakes up and he just can't talk for like 4 or 5 days? He's going to lose his damn mind. And guess what? He won't do anything to help himself out. He wants to wake up every morning. He wants to sit there and drink energy drinks that doesn't do shit for him till the cows come home. He wants to go up into that basic dust storm, which he calls an office, unless, you know, Cat's in there every week cleaning that up. He's breathing in all that dirt, all that bacteria, all that dust, and everything else and whatnot, destroying his nasal passages, screwing up his throat and whatnot. And then he wants to at night, he wants to sit there and drink himself to sleep because he can't go to sleep any other way. Or barely, I should say. And then he wants to drink himself to fucking stupidity. And then he has the nerve to sit there and complain to you guys that, oh, my voice My voice is, I'm slowly but surely losing it. And then I didn't even get into what he does throughout the day. He's sitting there throwing his voice at the wall when the mic is right in front of him. Can't just talk like a normal human being, quote unquote. He feels like he has to throw his voice at the wall. And he wonders why it's slowly but surely screwing him. And he won't do anything about it until he's damn near lost it or his pitch is gone. And then by then it'll be too late. He'll try to get all the losages he can. He'll try to go for every little quick fix in the book. And none of it will work. There you go.
My throat's so fucked up.
My voice at this point is doing better than it was for a while, but it's certainly not 100%. And I'm nervous that if I'm playing a game where every time I play it, I'm literally talking constantly, that within a week, my voice will be dead. You know, I can't even work, so what the hell, you know? So there's a few games in there that I am really nervous about having as games to be nominated and voted on. I'm not going to lie. So what I may do is when I do post up the information for the Patron's Choice event later this week, when the forums come back, I may post some criteria and say, all right, listen, there's certain genres of game that may go horribly wrong. It's okay if you want to nominate and vote on them, but you have to understand the premise that if the game you're nominating is, say, I don't know, longer than 10 hours, chances are it may not be a guaranteed finish because it depends on how things go, like my health with my voice.
Then don't pay him $1,250 to play a game that he more than likely won't finish. Period. That's your quick fix right there. He's going to, first off, I wouldn't even say he's smart enough, but he realizes that he can't sit there and tell you guys, don't vote for this game. He knows he can't do that because that goes back to that Mario Sunshine debacle. Can't do that. But I can't guarantee you that either A, I'll play it when I say I'm going to play it, or B, I'm going to finish it. But I damn sure want your $1,250 though. No matter what. Come hell or high water, one way or another, I want your $1,250. But I won't come through on my end and either play the game when I say I'm going to play it, or even beat it. And yet you guys are, and when I mean you guys, I mean Phil's fan base, you guys are still eager, chomping at the bit to go ahead and give him that money. Knowing he's going to fuck you over in the end. In some way, shape, or form. He's already giving you the excuses. He's already mentally implanting the reasons why he's not going to start nor finish it on time. Jesus Christ, it must be similar to the conversation he gives Kat every night on what the performance that's coming up isn't going to be very good. I'm sorry, Kat, I had a little too much gin in me. I'm sorry, Kat, I had a long day. I'm sorry, Kat, I had a lot of stress going on with these trolls and haters, and I just can't seem to relax. I can't focus. All right, I'm sure Panda heard those same things until that long stroke came through.
Or, you know, in the case of XCOM, how boring the game gets. Because that's the thing. There are genres of games that I know are not going to work out very well. It's one thing if it's an RPG and I can just, you know, play it as a nighttime game and balance with the fun hype stuff. It's another thing if it's a game where I physically can't talk. You know what I mean? Or a game where I have to do 2-3 sessions of 2 hours apiece to do the same missions you've seen already, wasting time, and people will be bored as fuck and no one will show up to watch. So I'm going to probably, like I said, lay some ground rules when I do post up the information about Patron's Choice later this week. Keep in mind, this is all what-if scenario. We don't know what games people are going to nominate and vote on anyway. So I guess we'll see. Maybe shouldn't make it that big of a deal until it happens. But I will, you know, up front, lay down some ground rules so people understand up front what's going to happen if games like that win. All right.
Social and national, it's none of my business.
Let me cut in real fast. So it's funny how, with all that being said, if the Patron's Choice doesn't get hit, and then he gets butthurt about it. He's like, I don't understand what the deal is, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you guys an opportunity, but none of you guys want to take it. What's the problem? Why, guys? Why won't you? You guys seem so supportive on the videos and on stream, but you guys won't go ahead and donate to this. Why won't you give me your $1,250? Yeah, I'm going to screw you guys over in the end, but you should still just give me your $1,250. He's going to get butthurt about it if he doesn't hit that goal. But yet, he wants to throw criteria at you, which means what's the point of it being a choice? It's not really a choice then. You guys have kind of been boxed in, and he's really just trying to direct you to where he wants you to go. If that's the case, then he's better off every time he does a Patron's Choice, he should just pick 10 games and just put it out there and be like, these are the 10 games you can choose from. He's better off doing that. And give people the actual simulants of a choice. Because this isn't one. Just saying.
who you like or what you do outside of my streams. Very, very, very hypocritical. Pretty hypocritical, I agree.
I've said this a million times. It really is none of my business. It's only my business if it negatively affects all of us. All right. So I'll give you an example. If you go,
We mean all of us. What I say about you is directed towards you. It's very rarely do I direct anything towards anybody in your fan base or your fan base as a whole. And if I do, it's really just food for thought. They take it at face value and they can move with it if they want, or if they don't, they don't. At the end of the day, I'm not the one that has to sit there and go anonymous just go anonymous so I can give you money because I'm scared that someone's going to send me a message saying, why'd you give Phil money? You're an idiot. When you don't even have to look at the message. Why are you doing that? Why are you going to get butthurt about that situation? Just ignore it. Or I think there's a block function. Just block them. Enough said. Phil wants you to be a bitch and report him, but even then, I don't think anything will really happen. Just block them and just leave it at that. It is what it is. Phil is turning you guys into just as sensitive pricks like himself. It's not going to do you any favors. Because eventually you're going to be in a situation where you can't run. And you're going to have to engage. And I don't mean physically, which is funny because everybody wants to talk about fighting until someone's actually put into a fight. No one wants to do that. Most of you guys don't even know how to have a conversation anymore. And that's the sad part. Phil doesn't know how to do it either. He can talk I wouldn't even say decent, but he can talk a decent game until he's confronted. And then he curls up into a ball. Hence the reason why if you guys don't believe me, for all of you guys who are in Phil's fan base, why aren't there more multiplayer events? Like this whole open lobby thing for Street Fighter, wait and see what the criteria are going to be for that, if there are any. He's doing it because he's hoping that he can get a lot of hype from either famous people or famous streamers to jump in on him. Excuse me. What's going to happen when the detractors catch into the mix, though? Is he going to mute it? Is he going to mute the game? He might play it out because he doesn't want to look like a total bitch, but is he going to sit there and he's going to keep voice chat on? What's he going to do then? Online play. Roll the shitty may apply. What happened to that, Phil? Oh, it was all gravy until you got swept up. Clean. Phil don't want to go through that again. He don't. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to go through that again. Will he sell out his integrity? Well, he's already done that. But will he sell out what's left of his integrity for a couple of shillings and get embarrassed by some detractors? Maybe. He might. I wouldn't hold my breath on it though. But he might. And if that is the case, can you really look at him and respect him? This man talks about how the detractors have brought all this misery upon his life, this, that, and third. I'm working towards those videos, but I'm hearing talk about this thing about depression and this, that, and the third. But then, how depressed are you if you're willing to take the money or make money off the very detractors that are supposedly bringing all of this heartache and mental stress on you? Something to think about. DSP News.
you watch other people, you watch This Is How You Don't Play videos, you watch negative stuff. I could give two craps as long as you don't take that negativity back here into my streams. I am not a person, I don't feel I'm an authority, I don't feel I'm anyone who's in charge of you and your life to tell you what you can and can't like or you can and can't watch, alright? It's that simple. I mean, understand.
Didn't you say to one guy once that, hey dude, I heard that you're always in my streams and you're always, being really nice and doing this, that, and the third, but I've also heard that you frequent Detractor channels too. What's up with that, man? I'm calling you out right here, right now. When you come over here, man, you're extremely popular, you're extremely positive, man, and I feel like you're a positive influence on the stream, but what are you doing over there with those detractors, man? Matter of fact, I don't mean to call this person out because I don't have no problem with this guy, but King of Hypocrisy, for example, I've seen him all over. I won't even name, I'll do him the respect and not say where I've seen him, but I've seen him all over the place and whatnot. And trust me, Phil, he ain't frontlining for you. He's not necessarily shitting on you either, but usually he's just asking other people's opinions on you. But he's not frontlining for you, and you don't ever call him out. Just saying. And you've actually tried to shit on King of Hypocrisy before. You weren't very good at it, and you ended up giving it up. But, you know, I'm just saying. And it's not just King of Hypocrisy. There's plenty of dudes who I've seen that are in your usual chat who are in Detractor chats all the time, chilling. They would, if I had never seen any of their names in your chat, I would have thought they were okay people. Or, well, I wouldn't say okay people. I'd say I would have thought they might have been kind of chill. Just saying. So, you might want to sit there and take a real good look at that situation. But then again, you have, though, haven't you, Phil? Because that's why this constant air of paranoia is going on around you. That's why Phil, if you guys have noticed, I know I've noticed after doing a couple of these videos, him constantly looking at that chat. And even more so now than he was when we went on break here. Yeah, because I went on break first, and then these guys went on break. All right, cool. So you know what I mean. So when we went on break, so what's the deal with that, Phil? What is it that's gotten you so shaken up in your chat that you're constantly micromanaging it? It doesn't look very fun. So why are you doing it? What is it that has you so scared, that has you so worried, that has you so bothered, that you feel the need to consistently do it? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's everything. I just thought I'd ask. Because it doesn't he's frequently doing it. Like I said, just asking.
There's a little morality attached to it. You understand that when people make "this is how you don't play" and "this is how you don't play," especially those who actually monetize it, which a few people do, they're making money off of my work without permission. So it really is stealing.
But it's up to you. If that's what you want to do, I can't stop you. And there's no way I'm going to hold it against you to go watch, negative stuff about me. All right? But if you're going to bring that shit in, like, for example, I watched a guy...
Actually, Phil, didn't you... Actually, I know you did. You actually tried to run your own little racket off This Is How You Don't Play. You tried to funnel it through KO Gaming. What was it, like community... Like, it was like a community submission program or some dumb shit like that? Where you wanted people to make This Is How You Don't Play and put it on your channel. Then again, there were some criteria to that too, wasn't there, Phil? Where essentially, it was... just show my defs and that's it, and don't actually embarrass me or put anybody's like comments and all that dumb shit up, which is one of the reasons why he blocks his comments, or his comments are turned off on his channel, on his YouTube channel anyway, or at least off Dspgaming, which is funny because people just pull it from your stream. And what makes it even funnier is those videos are even more popular now than they were back then. Here and there. So then you eliminating the comment section did what? And then you like to peddle this lie about, oh, I don't have my comments on any of the videos on Dspgaming and I haven't seen any effect whatsoever. No, it doesn't hurt the channel even in the slightest. Unless, but then you have videos up there that only have 300-400 views. And that's it. From a channel your size, there's something wrong with that. See, Phil, you need that engagement. For someone who's hoarded themselves off the YouTube as long as they have, you should know that. I would say work, but you said that you're your own boss. Whatever. So I'll say that you hoard yourself out. You should know that, being with them that long. And yet, it still doesn't compute, does it? Still not registering, huh? Alright.
I make fun of Phil all the time. Now I'm going to come into a stream chat and spam negative memes constantly that are stupid and insulting and they don't make any sense and they derail the chat. Then you're going to get in trouble, all right? So I don't care what you do, but,
Derail the chat from what? Outside of essentially all the ultra-aggressive homosexuality that's going on in that bitch. All the racism, general Nazi talk, and then the bashing of other chatters in there for having small questions, not even troll questions, just people that get bashed because they can't be part of the good old boys club. Where's the derailing at, Phil? And it's funny how you can spot all this stuff about the detractors and all these crazy ass memes and everything, but you turn your head to the side to everything else. You need a little time to give me an answer on that? I'll wait. I'm not going to wait too long, though, but I'll wait. Huh? Just saying.
Just please be respectful when you're on stream. I really don't give a crap.
Oh my god, excuse me. What pasta do you prefer?
So much for that respectful thing. Alright, guys. So, there we go with that. Interesting situation. Not really, but, there you go. Patron's choice is a illusion. It always has been. It probably always will be. So, take that for what you will. And I don't care what you do when you're not on stream, which is another blatant lie. He's called people out on it before. He'll do it now. It is what it is. If you guys, I do recommend this. His second stream, he has a pre-stream before that one also. A lot of that usually doesn't get posted. If you guys ever get a chance to chime in and actually check it out, do so. It's fascinating, to be honest with you. I argue that at times it's better than the first pre-stream, which is readily available to everybody. I think that's the reason why he deletes the second one on purpose. But that's just my personal opinion. And maybe he doesn't delete the second one and I just never see him. But that's just my general thoughts. So you guys got to be really glad when detractors end up swooping that stuff up, because it's super helpful. Speaking of which, today is Friday, the 4th, and I think Almighty Tevin will be streaming most of the day. So look forward to that. You guys might see me in the chat. If not, I'll be watching. So look forward to that. Actually, I don't even know if this video will be up by then, so I don't even know why I mentioned it. Oh well. I guess it's just for the fun of it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network and Productions. I am your host / anchor, GTG, and I am signing off. End of broadcast. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Well, maybe I'll get lucky and next Friday Almighty Tevin will be streaming and then you guys might actually catch that. See? Always thinking ahead.